Hello and welcome to CoreTV News Hour. I am Frank Omalape, and here are some of the reports we're filing at this time. President Muhammadu Buhari has called on Nigerians to pray for the return of peace, love and prosperity throughout the country as Muslims start the 2015 Ramadan fast. He also implored Muslims to seek maximum benefit from the long fast. President Muhammadu Buhari said this in a congratulatory message released on his behalf by the Senior Special Assistant and Publicity, Garba Shehu. He also sent an appeal to the perpetrators of violence and destructions in the name of Islam all over the world to desist from tarnishing the name of the religion. The President urged them to drop their arms, embrace peace, and seek a better understanding of Islam during this holy period and beyond. And now, Speaker of the House of Representatives, Yakubu Dogara, has urged Muslims faithful to use the Ramadan period to pray for Nigeria. He said this in a goodwill message to Muslims at the commencement of the month-long fast. Speaker Dogara also noted that the promise of change by the new government can only be realized if Nigerians dedicated themselves to the service of God and humanity. And as Muslims begin the month-long fasting period, former Vice President Atiku Abubakar has called on them to pray for the peace of the country. He also wants Muslim leaders to attack the roots of terrorism by attacking their ideology. This, he says, is because of the prevailing violence which is disrupting social and economic life of people in some parts of the country. In a statement released by his media office in Abuja on Wednesday, the former vice president said he was constantly saddened by the frequent explosion of conflict and violence which pose threats to the country's peace. He wants Muslim leaders to intensify efforts to eliminate the influence of extremists while also calling on political leaders to show extra vigilance to stem the growth of extremism. In addition, the former vice president called for urgent actions to shield innocent Muslim disciples from the influences of extremist teachers who might exploit their ignorance to push them into criminal atrocities. And the Nigerian Governors Forum says it will support the federal government in improving the country's economy. This was contained in a communique delivered by the chairman of the forum and Governor of Zamfara State, Abdulaziz Yari, at the end of a closed-door meetings in Abuja. Yari says the focus of the meeting is to find long-term solutions to the numerous economic challenges currently facing the nation. Our correspondent, Basiaye, has details.
The meeting started at about 10 a.m. and lasted for over 5 hours. It is the second meeting of the Nigeria Governors Forum this year and the first within the new administration. Governors from over 20 states attended the meeting. Both governors from the All Progressives Congress and the People's Democratic Party were present, and among them are these notable faces. Then it was time to disclose the outcome of the meeting, a responsibility handled by the chairman of the forum. He stated that the governors are working out plans to tackle the country's economic challenges, among other issues.
Deliberate extensively on various issues of national interest to be discussed with Mr. President in order to seek a lasting solution for the economy, for the economic challenges confronting the nation. To undertake the forum retreats dedicated exclusively to how states can become more viable and identify means of improving the governance.
For some time now, many states have been struggling with intense financial crisis, which has affected payment of salaries, a situation the forum insists is not peculiar to states.
It's a problem for the both federal government and the states. You will believe with me that some of the federal agencies for 5, 6, 4 months, some of them have not gotten their salary. Why? Because federal government cannot do it because of the doing of the economy.
Now, government is currently paying attention to revamping the nation's economy. And if this is achieved, there are hopes that respite will come to Nigerians soon. Basiaye, CoreTV News, Abuja.
The Progressive Governors Forum says the bad state of the nation's economy is responsible for the non-payment of salaries across the state in recent times. They want the government to make bail-out funds available for the state while carrying out a complete overhauling of the system to block leakages. Leader of the forum, Rochester Okocha, says the fall in global oil prices and the mismanagement of funds from subsidy are some of the factors responsible for the financial crash.
Challenges, which is the drop in oil price, and secondly, the issue of oil theft. But there are other issues like the crude swap, the gas revenue, which has never reflected on any of the Federation account, and the subsidy mismanagement, which is known to everyone. For instance, only a few years ago, the subsidy amount was about 240 billion, 200 billion, and today is about 1.4 trillion. So what has really changed? So we are really concerned about some of this obvious looting of our nation's treasury.
Now, the presidency on Wednesday is playing like a good wine. President Muhammad Buhari, who will clock 73 in December, gets better with age. Special advisor to the president on media and publicity, Femi Adesina, stated this in a press release issued in Abuja. He was reacting to a statement credited to Buhari during an audience he granted Nigerians resident in South Africa that his age would limit his performance as the president of the country. Although he admitted that the president made the statement, Adesina said it was not an admission that Buhari was too old to cope with the demands of his office. The presidential spokesman said although at 72 Buhari could not be called a youth, but he was inquatent the wisdom, patience, temperance, and forbearance that age brings. He said he had brought all these virtues to presidency to make a difference in national life, and Adesina added that at 72, the Buhari persona has not changed. He added that because Nigerians earnestly desire change, that was why they voted for him overwhelmingly at the general elections in March. He said all the virtues and values of the Buhari persona will be deployed into governance in the weeks and months ahead. And now the Progressive has described as a product of poor thinking and deliberate mischief. The statement credited to the so-called PDP media watchdog asking President Muhammad Buhari to resign because of his comment over his age. In a statement issued in Lagos on Wednesday by its National Publicity Secretary La Mohammed, the party said if the authors of the statement had understood simple English, taking the pains to engage in deep thinking and contextualize the comments, they would not have rushed to the press to ask the president to resign. APC said within 3 weeks of his inauguration, President Muhammad Buhari has succeeded in returning Nigeria to the Committee of Nations, to such an extent that world leaders are now so eager to engage him on how to assist his country in key areas, including security and the fight against corruption. The People's Democratic Party on Wednesday distanced himself for a group PDP media watchdog over the latest call on President Muhammad Buhari to resign. PDP said the group was not working within and in the interests of the opposition party. The group had, in an earlier statement signed by its head, Tunde Lawal, called for Buhari's resignation over comments attributed to the president that there was a limit he could do because of his age. But a statement by the National Publicity Secretary of PDP, Ole Sametu, said this group is absolutely unknown to the PDP and has no connection whatsoever with the party at any level. You're still watching CoreTV News. I will take a break now. I'll be back shortly with more stories. Join us again.
Every day, every hour, and every minute, news break in Nigeria. Things happen so fast, it's most times difficult to track and comprehend them. But that's what we do right here on Digit 360.
2015, would you want to come back again?
It's like asking Jesus Christ if he knew he was going to die, will you want to come back as the savior of the world again?
We do not just help you track the stories, we break them down, explore all the angles, analyze the issues so that you can fully comprehend the stories and use them to make the right decisions.
You're also watching CoreTV News Hour live from our Lagos studios. For more information on our news and other programs, like our Facebook page is facebook.com/CoreTV News. And you can also follow at CoreTV News NG. For live streaming, log on to youtube.com/CoreTV. Leave a space, the news. And now the civil society group has charged Muhammadu Buhari to take into cognizance the many challenges the country has been facing before his emergence as president of Nigeria. The group made this known at a roundtable tag State of the Nation and Agenda Setting. Our correspondent Olajumoke Olatuji was there and filing this report.
According to many observers of the Nigerian polity, the country has been faced with a plethora of challenges ranging from corruption, fuel crisis, insecurity, among others. This according to the conveners of the event titled State of the Nation, an agenda setting, requires them to remind the President's administration of the challenges facing the nation. Renowned economist Henry Boyo analyzed some of the major issues behind the fuel crisis, explaining further on what fuel subsidy really is.
If the government decides to reduce subsidy, we will find that the inflationary spiral that will come about would lead to what? Further naira devaluation. As I've shown you here, the weaker naira means what? Higher fuel prices. Higher fuel prices mean what? Increasing possibility of subsidy. This is real.
Senior advocate of Nigeria, Femi Falana, lamented the crisis surrounding the nation's economy. Also, former chairman, Nigerian Bar Association Ikeja branch, Monday Ubani, also had the stake on the issue.
Section 162 of the Constitution provides that there shall be a federation account into which shall be paid all revenues generated by the government. Nowhere is it stated that the Central Bank of Nigeria will capture the dollar components, decide on its own to print naira and then take to the market at its own rate fixed by it. No governor in Nigeria knows how much oil we produce. No, none. No governor in Nigeria knows the exchange rate fixed by the central bank monthly when you share this money. So you then ask, what kind of economy are we running?
No single fight was waged under the last dispensation against corruption and corrupt practices. Agencies like EFCC and ICPC that were created by law to fight and end corruption were purposely and presently crippled and disabled to wage any war against those vices. Public sector and in the private sector. In the public sector, we have the corruption of the political elites, or what we call the political class, which is very pervasive, very destructive, and of course very harmful.
The Guardian further pointed out that there is no profit in building more refineries as a way of eliminating subsidy, but rather called for a public-private participation and non-interference of political leaders. Olajumoke Olatuji, CoreTV News.
And our national chairman of the All Progressive Congress, John Odigi Oyegun, on Wednesday met behind closed doors with the chairman of the 36th state chapter of the party. The meeting, which lasted for a little over 4 hours, is the first of its kind since the party won the general elections on March 28 and April 11, 2015. Although details of the meeting are still sketchy, chairman of the two state chapters who spoke on condition of not being identified says state chairman convened a meeting to review the last elections. One of the chairmen from a state in the northwest explained that he and his colleagues considered it necessary to meet with the chairman to, among other things, express their displeasure over the way they were being left out of the scheme of things. A party leader, however, said the crisis which erupted after the leadership elections in the National Assembly were not discussed. The Inspector General of Police, Solomon Arasi, says that 27 policemen who went missing after terrorist attack at Goza, Borno State, in August 2014 are yet to be declared dead. Arasi disclosed this while fielding questions from newsmen in Abuja. He says the police will follow a tradition of declaring officers who went missing in battle dead after a certain period of time. It could be recalled that 35 policemen could not be accounted for after Boko Haram terrorists attacked Goza, where a police training school is located, on August 20, 2014.
There is a tradition in the Nigerian police force. When your officers are missing in battle, you don't declare them dead or missing until after, a period has lapsed. So we are still waiting for that period to come and lapse, and if we cannot find them after that time, then we will formally declare them either dead or missing. And I'm sure, very soon, most of our officers who have paid the supreme price, in the fight against insurgency, we are already trying to put their names on marble. I'm sure when you walk into our reception downstairs, yes, you will see that we started doing something, trying to cast their names on marble, and we'll always glorify them. We'll always appreciate them. We'll always, feel for them. And this is one of the reasons too. This goes to underscore one of the reasons why we are so passionate about the welfare of our men. If most of them they have houses, before this unfortunate incident happened, we can be sure that their families will also have a shelter over their heads. So you can see that the synergy between they are being.
You're still watching CoreTV News Hour. We'll take another break now. We're back with sports and stories outside Nigeria. Stay with us.
As news breaks, people don't let events pass without giving their comment or reactions.
When the problem arises in society, these are the people that should be consulted.
To cleanse the corruption in society, we are not to provide information for good life and also security of life and property in this country.
The academic society have the loudest voice on this platform.
Whether you call it a sovereign national conference or a national conference, it is about the people of Nigeria.
There should be a change in power.
In any way they can do it.
I think there's a script already.
Every Tuesday at 8:45 p.m. on this station. From the Ivory Tower, a must-watch for the learning minds.
And outside Nigeria now, police in South Carolina are looking for a clean-shaven white man in his 20s who they say has a slender build and sandy blonde hair. The suspect walked into a historic African-American church in Charleston and opened fire during a Bible study class, killing 9 people Wednesday evening. Eyewitnesses confirmed that the young white man was wearing a gray sweatshirt, blue jeans, and boots. Manuel African Methodist Episcopal Church has been a presence in Charleston since 1816. Meanwhile, Republican presidential candidate Jeb Bush has cancelled a scheduled town hall in Charleston on Thursday because of the shooting. And now Denmark's general election is underway, which opinion polls suggest is on a knife edge as the center-left coalition of Prime Minister Thorning and the center-right opposition led by ex-Prime Minister Lars Løkke Rasmussen appear to be neck and neck. The island's fishing community is still angry at Thorning Smith for burying its boats from Danish port in a 2013 dispute over the ledge of the fishing, although it is believed that in reality the economy rather than Michael quotas tend to swing elections. Thorning's Social Democratic Party has staged a remarkable comeback in recent weeks as Danish finances improve. A poll release on Tuesday put the center-left bloc, the Social Democrats and their 4 coalition partners, on 51 The center-right bloc led by Rasmus on 49.9 and Thorning Smiggs and Rasmussen's parties could win the most seats, only to find themselves the losers if others can muster a larger coalition. And now, Brazil soccer team Boz Dunga has admitted that his team needs to learn to play without Neymar following the forward's post-match dismissal in the 10-1-0 defeat to Colombia, while the Barcelona man was shown a straight red when an incident involving Jesse Murillo and Carlos Bacca boiled over after referee had blown for full time with his Sevilla striker sent off. Dunga said the team must now find a way of dealing with the loss of their starman. He also said he will wait till Thursday to begin plans on how to play, as the 1-0 reverse represents Dunga's first defeat since returning as coach and leaves Brazil with 3 points from their 2 Group C matches ahead of their final features with surprise leaders Venezuela. The team once played without Neymar against Mexico, defeating the Mexican side 2-0. And our tournament officials are happy with the course at the U.S. Open despite concerns about conditions at the Chambers Bay. The firm dry shittle course is built on land formerly used as a rocky quarry and has an orthodox layout. United States Golf Association Director Mike Davis said although players would face a comprehensive test, they couldn't be more happy for setting the golf course up and presenting it for a championship tax. The tournament begins on Thursday with world #1 Rory McIlroy paired with defending champions Martin Kaymer of Germany for the first 2 rounds. And that's it with sport and, of course, news on the hour. Many thanks for watching. I am Frank Omalape. I'll see you again.